Hey guys, welcome back. It has been a while. We just had a little bit of a hiatus. We've all been really busy. Tristan just bought a house, so he's been moving in and, just unfortunately haven't been able to put out a lot of content recently, but we're going to jump back into it. We're going to try, getting back on more of a on a scheduled basis for uploads. So we're back with the Camaro. Tristan had bought some cool stuff for it.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of the cool stuff I bought isn't here yet. But
yeah, one of the coolest parts that you bought.
Coolest parts, that's all I'm saying. That's why I'm really sad. So we got the radiator that we're going to need that we... do you remember the guy's name whose forum posts we're kind of following?
I don't know. It was on LS1 Tech or it was on something.
So it's the stand-up radiator thing. And this is exactly the aluminum radiator that they use. And this thing was 200 bucks. And, a lot of aluminum radiators basically start right at $200, I see. Yep. And at this very moment, that's kind of a lot of money for me because I just bought a house.
Yeah, he just bought.
And I'm like, damn, this thing is every bit worth $200.
Let me pull this off. Ugh.
Yeah, there you go.
See in there, it's all handmade. I mean,
and just look at these welds. They're so nice. Like, damn, this thing is worth $200 for sure.
It comes with the
no complaints
drain,
there.
All that.
Yep.
Or a bleeder. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, no regrets at all. And the only thing I'm wondering is, do we have the radiator cap still?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I wonder, because it advertised as able to keep the stock radiator cap.
We probably have it lying around somewhere.
So, yeah, it's got to be just lying around then.
Because
I think we threw the old radiator away.
Yeah.
But I'd love to try it and see if it actually does work, or if we're going to have to find another cap that works.
Probably just buy a stock replacement. You probably buy it on eBay for like $5 or something.
But it said it works.
And
so.
I guess we didn't even introduce this. If you guys are new to the channel, this is our Project F Camaro. Name Project F.
In there.
This is big old, well, the 3.8, that came out of a this is an L67, so it came out of a Grand Prix.
Yep.
Big cam. It's the ZZP XP cam, full valve train, ported cylinder heads, ported intake manifold, 102mm throttle body, this crazy turbo kit, a GTX 3582R turbo, air-to-water intercooler, tubular subframe, and that was one of the other things that we were talking about.
Yep.
We were waiting on is the tubular bash bar. So
yeah, it's really nice. It bolts right in place of the existing bumper bar, and what it ends up doing is it goes up and around behind the bumper, and then all these stock clips are going to retain those, which is really nice. There's even like a small plastic lip that it's like an air dam.
Yeah.
It clips into that too, and it just allows way more room right here.
Tons of real estate, tons of room for activities.
And we're gonna need that.
Yep.
We're gonna need every bit of that room.
The stand-up radiator, if you guys know these F bodies, they come vertical, or not vertical,
yep.
They come...
Yeah, they're slanted.
Slanted.
Yeah, they sit right on here, and you can see the angle, so they come straight out here, and that's the only way that they're able to get such a gigantic radiator. I mean, like, this is the stock replacement. This is what this looks like. This is what it would look like if you bought it new.
Which this is new. we didn't know, before we were gonna do all this, we didn't even know.
And
but it sits in with dowels in there. It actually hooks right in.
And so this is what it would look like, and it just takes up way too much room.
You can see,
also
just no room.
There's absolutely no way you're getting a radiator of this shape and size to sit straight up and down, unless you're willing to hit it on any kind of curb you go over, or any bump, because it would hang really low.
We hung this, how it would be stood up and low, and it goes very low. Like, it's lower than the bumper, as you can see there.
Yeah, so that's not an option, and so that's why we bought, god damn you, get out of there. So yeah, that's why we bought that radiator.
There's a lot of forum posts on how to stand this thing, and this thing is beefy. Like, it's huge, and this will have no problem cooling this thing.
Way thicker, yeah.
And as you saw with the turbo kit, we have a lot of space in the front of the motor that we need. So we need to stand the radiator, and we need the bash bar for the air-to-water intercooler, heat exchanger,
and with all that.
Anything else, because we want as much room as we can get, make it as serviceable as possible.
Yep.
And it'll just help everything with that. So what we last did, guys, was we got the AC delete plate in. So this AC delete removes the AC box and retains the air and heat in the car, which is awesome. So we have that whole series. We're going to just finish it up here by putting the dash in. If you want to check out those videos and delete your AC but keep the heat, we have that.
So the only last thing I wanted to mention about the radiator, it's gonna sit right under this thing, so we're gonna have to cut a little bit of away.
Flush with it.
And the plan is to basically hole saw a hole right here, well, right around here. I'm not exactly sure on the placement, but for the radiator cap, and that's supposed to pop right out of this. And that's what they did on the forums, and we're basically just gonna emulate that exactly as best we can. And yeah, so that's coming along. We'll by next week, I'm not sure how much we're going to do on the car next week, but the bash bar should be here, and we might be able to bolt it up and show you guys.
Yep, and basically once we have the dash in and all that, the AC delete was the last part we need before we're putting the motor in.
Yep.
And yeah, we're just going to roll this thing back under here. We showed you guys, we stored it for a little bit, you know, it's kind of the same process of lifting the car up from the radiator support right here, and then rolling it under and then dropping it down. Once we have this though, the radiator in, we're not gonna be able to use this, so we're gonna do the radiator stand once the motor's in the car. And then, you know, tubular bash bar, and then start wiring up everything, start plumbing everything, fuel lines. I think we have to redo the fuel pump because how we did it was not great. And now that we're going with the turbo,
also cheap ass fuel pump.
That's why now that we're going with the turbo, it's not going to have as much leeway as like the supercharger would have. So we're gonna do that. We have to get, you know, the rest of the lines made. I fabricated up a coil bracket for that. We're using L67 fuel rails on this, 80-pound
injectors,
injectors, and yeah, I mean, and I guess do the exhaust back, you know, fabricate that.
And then,
back.
you know, you can't really see it, but that cardboard up on the wall by the toolbox, right where my finger's at, that's our to-do list. And surprisingly, like, we cleared off almost all of those things, which we didn't even think were done. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. We made progress, but there's still so much more to go.
Yeah.
And he mentioned, like, this is how we lifted it up last. And, you know, it's pretty structurally sound. I mean, we lifted the car feet in the air. And so, because we're going to be cutting into this, we're thinking about maybe right where that is, maybe putting some anchors, like putting some bolt holes and with some big bolts in it, or just something like weld some hooks on there so that we can put chains on them, something like that.
Once it goes in, we're not intending to have to take it back out.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm sure at some point maybe that's.
Oh, you know what? We might be able to just lift it by the bash bar.
Yeah, if it's sturdy enough.
Because it literally bolts to the frame, so
yeah,
that could be an option.
With the sway of the engine stand, it would need to be pretty long chains to reach it, and if it's farther out, like if it's at the nose,
it's got less lift.
It's not going to lift it up.
Yeah,
as
it's
high
true.
as if you're out here.
That's true. So I think that like just welding some hooks right here, or putting a hole in a big bolt there and welding a big bolt there will be what we need to do. We'll
cross that bridge when we come to it.
Hopefully we don't have to take the engine out any more than that.
We
but
might be able to just weld some anchors to the.
That could be too.
Here.
Yep. And so that's just another thing that we're gonna have to do, as well as like a battery box and just more shit that you guys are gonna see in the future. But I'm wondering, is this? Nope, it's not. So we're gonna pull all the garbage out of there, all the interior.
Tristan, you have a new full set of seats?
Yeah, and those are in the Tahoe.
Are they leather? No, just carpet.
No, they're exactly what Austin's was. Yeah, they look identical, I think.
You know, that's fine.
At least they're not moldy, right? Yep.
Well, that you know of. They've been in your store.
Yeah, they have been in my Tahoe, which is leaking water into it now. So wonderful. All my cars leak water into them.
Yeah.
Why is that?
We're gonna take all this stuff out, and we're gonna start putting the dash back in, get the steering column back in, and hopefully we can do this with very little drama. But
we'll see about that.
We'll see. Usually it's easier to take things apart than put them back together, as evidenced by this car sitting in my driveway for 2 years. It's easy to take it apart, but put it back together. 3 now?
Maybe.
Well, all right, guys. Well, we'll be back. All right, guys, we are back. We went through and removed the wideband wiring that was kind of just like shittily put in here, and it was actually wired into the stereo for unknown reasons. I don't even know where the stereo harness is.
What are these?
Or something.
Wagner DOT. What are these? Please tell me.
Where's the stereo harness?
I don't know.
It looks like something would connect to these. Anyways, it was the wideband was wired to the stereo, which is so stupid.
For power and ground.
Yeah, like I don't know why you would do that. like do it at the fuse box, don't do it at the stereo. It's so weird.
That's a amateur thing to do.
We went ahead and kind of just like wrapped some of these lines with electrical tape just to kind of keep them more together. You know, doing the best we can.
I don't even know. No, I don't even know, like, why was there stereo work done when there's like, it's, you know, and stock stereo.
Yep. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and I guess probably just clear some of the trash off the floor and then just kind of dive in. You gotta have to just start somewhere, you know.
Yep. Yeah, I think that we're literally at that point to just throw in the dash and see what goes where and how to.
Yep, we got all the bolts up here to secure it. We won't do that just yet. Oh yeah, fix that. We have these 2 points to anchor the thing on, so it'll just pivot on there while we just get everything up and connected. We left the brackets on there that connect to these, so we just kind of have to trace that because the main harness will go around the bottom, up, over, and then down. So if we hook those into place, it'll approximately put where these connectors are supposed to go, and then we'll just kind of work from there. It's just kind of something, like I said, one of those things, just gotta jump in and do it. So, oh, also we fixed some of these connectors. Like the whole wideband thing was just, it had these, you know, really shitty splicers. This was for the ground, supposedly. There's another one with for the power, but fix that. And yeah, we're going to jump right in this. All right, guys, so we got the dash here, obviously, in front of us. We're going through, and first off, the main harness, like I said, I'm getting clipped back in, so we kind of have to route that up and over. I got some of the major stuff that needs to go through to the radio or stereo side pulled through. It's really just trying to figure out where everything goes and routes up. So yeah, it's kind of not much to show. Yeah, there's some things that we need to connect back up to this, you know. It's actually going a little bit better than I expected because, I mean, once the harness is in the right place, like starting just with routing the main harness, that puts all the connectors kind of where they need to be and allows you to, I guess, be closer to where you're supposed to be plugging them in. So, yep, great angles you have to get to, you know, to do all this. But yeah, we're gonna get as much done here as we can, get it up here, and then kind of just sort out what we need to connect. And we are back again. We got the dash in officially. Not really. We got as much of the electrical connectors as we could get in connected, and then the main harness routing up and then over. You can see we got the gauge cluster harness in. That was a bitch and a half.
Shit's a mess, man.
And but yeah, the rest of the stuff, I mean, it's just steering column and some other stuff, and it's actually going better than I thought it was, or I thought it would be. Yeah.
This is going about as well as I expected.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just going one piece at a time. Got to pull this harness down here through, which is a tight squeeze with this harness. Like how they made this.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I know. I unplugged it because it was stretching.
Oh, it unplugged it. Okay, good. Oh, does it just?
Yeah, it just goes on.
Gotcha.
Yep. So
I thought I got it torn out.
No. So we'll get the gauge cluster in. We'll get everything else connected. We'll kind of get this bolted back up in place. Get the steering assembly in, and yeah, we'll be good. Guys, it's looking like a complete dash in here. Look at that. Oh, don't mind that.
You're jinxing it.
I know I'm jinxing. This shit ain't gonna work when we start it up. There's gonna be something we missed.
It'll roll right onto the tow truck though.
We did as best as we could. It's real hard getting the harness. Like, GM did not make this long enough for the harness to wrap up around there like it needs to for the gauge cluster and have things pipe through here to get in there. Are you just seeing what needs to plug into that?
I'm kind of just tempted to put it in the hole and see what I can clip in.
That's true. Yeah, we can do that. I've gotten everything on this side done. We kind of just need to zip tie stuff out of the way. And then got the climate controls all plugged in. I had to route some of the stereo stuff up through here. Modules that were hanging there, like this guy right here, this little box is in and clipped in. Now it's really just this stuff, and you can see it's, I mean, it looks like a lot, but it's really not. We got all that clipped in together, just put the gauge cluster in. Oh, Jesus. Cheers, Johnny. So, you need me to help you get that? Oh, those were, that's what those bolts were for, these ones. It's for that.
And yeah, I will need help, because that's all wobbly.
Yep. And we did, it was a real struggle to get up the top bolts here. We really had to pry up. There's definitely something that was, it's the harness or something that was kind of preventing it from going all the way up, or it really is just that hard to get it back up into place. I don't know, but we did it. Get in the hole first. Get those nuts on there. These guys.
Oh, Jesus, almost fell off the car. God, there's just no good way. There's no way to get comfortable here.
Here, line them up with those and we'll get a nut on. Lift it high, Tristan. Push it forward. It needs to go in the hole more.
I'm trying, boss.
There you go.
That's heavier than it looks, guys.
You're right. You're right about that. Oh my God. I'd recommend doing this job with a buddy. All right, you can let go.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I would not want to do this by myself. I'm sure you wouldn't either.
Oh, I would hate it. In fact, like,
I don't think it's possible.
be overwhelming.
Yeah. But, you know,
Unless
it's
you
coming
document
together.
Everything. Hey, will you put it, will you put pressure on it and put it up? Okay.
Nice. Yep, so got a lot of electronics. You actually might want to lower it first before you put it up there. It's gonna be kind of hard to get to, but
It might be.
as you guys can see, we're, you know, kind of on the home stretch of just connecting stuff back in. And yeah, once this is done, I think we should probably like vacuum in here, just clean up one last time, and we're done with the interior and we can move on with, I mean, next step, getting the engine in. Not today though, but we're getting the engine in next.
Yeah, we might want to lower it and just plug it all in and then.
All right.
Some of the shit on the harness is like super tight though, so I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna happen.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, guys, we'll be back. All right, guys, this is kicking our asses. We were just like slamming our heads against the wall because we were trying to get one of the stereo wires through and it was not reaching at all. So there's the main harness that comes up here and then it splits into two actually, and we'd routed both up kind of the same way. It's gonna be really hard to see in here, or impossible, but there's a metal bracket right here with the lip. That's where it deviates. The main harness goes up that way, and this harness goes over the metal through here. And then from here you can see we have all the connectors that we need to place them where we need to. I mean, the climate control goes to the bottom vent and the radio goes to top. We can sort that up now easily.
Yeah, so what we had to do is with the
We had to
harness
pull this
going
back out.
Yeah, with the harness going up with it, we had the wires were coming back and just didn't have enough slack to actually connect. And so we just had to take unclip everything from the middle and shove it up back with no room. And
zero room. I had to be in there like no room at all. Tristan had to be down there pushing the wires
our
up.
hands are cut up.
Yeah, they're fucking dead.
Like, mine hurt really bad. But at least we got what we needed.
Yeah, and that's kind of the last piece we need.
Yep.
All we gotta do is gotta push the
let me
dash
see this
back
real
up in
quick.
place. And
So I broke this, so this connects to the brake pedal, and we have no idea where that clip in particular is at the moment, but
also see mechanical.
it threads into here, and it moves. In fact, the clutch also has one. This is the bits to it, so I'm gonna need a new one of that. Literally, we just moved the dash, and it broke right off, and normally it threads like right there, so that's a problem.
Yes.
Yep, and so be careful with yours when you do this. If you do this, don't recommend.
Yeah, I think I want to relume some of this since we shredded it coming through.
Yeah. Yep.
Man.
That shit was a nightmare.
But we're in the home stretch, I think. I said that last time before we entered, or like, you know, jumped or whatever, but I think we are in the home stretch now that we have this routed properly.
Yeah.
It's all in how it's routed, I guess.
It definitely is, yep.
Yeah, shit. GM, like, just made this too short up here, and yeah. We were almost to the point where, like, let's just cut them and extend them. What the hell is this? Is this supposed... Oh, that's probably the ground. This is like a completely exposed wire. But I think that's just like a ground or something.
That is very strange.
Yep. Shit.
Shit.
I keep breaking stuff.
Yep.
We're gonna go start the car and it ain't gonna work.
Nope.
Yeah, ain't got no engine in it.
Ain't got no gas in it.
So yeah, we're gonna go clean this up a little bit and then finally get it back together. All right, guys, as you can see, we got the whole dash in. So it was just figuring out routing the cable for the, you know, center climate control and stereo. Once that was figured out, everything went in really nicely. So Tristan's just getting those bolts in for the steering rack. I think you still need to bolt or tighten up the top bolt that
Might
holds
need
it
to
up.
loosen them, actually.
Oh, really, to get them aligned?
Yeah, possibly.
That makes sense. But yeah, everything's all in here. We don't have the top dash part anymore. that thing kind of obliterated itself.
Shattered into 1,000 pieces.
You guys saw on, or if you watched the earlier videos, we removed it pretty nicely. It only had 2 cracks in it, but I dropped it and it shattered like glass into a billion pieces. So.
I thought it was glass. Like I came around the corner, I'm like, what broke? Yeah. And then I just see plastic everywhere. I'm like, oh, okay.
So we got the gauge cluster in, steering wheels in, the front covers in. We're gonna leave everything under here, expose all the trim pieces off, so when we go to, you know, do more stuff with gauges and just normal, like, we're gonna see that everything works first before we put everything back together. So that's where we're at there. And Tristan just tightened that up. We're gonna go ahead and finish tightening in the steering shaft, and we'll be done, I guess.
All right, guys. It's actually all bolted in there. As you can see, those are the 3 bolts. You can barely see this, but yeah, 3 bolts.
Pull the steering arm on.
Yep. And so it's all done, guys. It's all done.
You know you've done a good job when you have bolts left over.
Yeah, when you have like, you know, 3 times the amount of bolts that you actually used.
That's just because we haven't put everything back in totally, but like there's a bunch of trim stuff. But well, I'm sure we're gonna have some leftovers. I know at least we broke one and then we lost another one, so we actually might not have enough bolts at the end.
Yeah, and then you know what? Also, parts where the metal under the dash, where the metal connects to the plastic, they're not actually bolted together right now. Oh. There was a lot of bolts that, you know, are underneath the dash that you gotta get to that we did not put back.
We have 2 nuts. There's some bigger fasteners there.
Yeah. So basically what we focused on is just getting the dash in, getting everything clipped in, and then getting the dash bolted in.
And the harness kind of like routed properly.
Yeah, so we haven't actually gotten under it specifically to bolt it down.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be at a later date because we are exhausted and our bodies ache.
Yeah, not required. Like we don't have to do that immediately. The next thing that we're gonna be doing is gonna be putting the motor in.
Yeah, I mean just like laying down there, either laying or like with your knees is just awful.
My knees, I can barely stand. Oh god.
So
it's so bad.
Yeah, we got it good enough.
Yeah, I mean it's like a 95% job.
Yep, 95% done, and then but yeah, we just wanted to tell you we're done. That's all we're doing today. Frickin' ready to go home, god dang it.
Yep, we got the new radiator there. That's gonna be awesome to go in and
you guys didn't see that.
Tristan actually dropped it.
Well no, the wind did the dropping. It hit her, but just a little scrapage. Nothing bad. Oh no, all the welds are broken. Just kidding.
Yeah guys, so we're going to, next time we work on this, I think we're going to be trying to roll this under there because that's really the next step. We have everything we need done on it. We have the coil bracket made. Tristan found the actual original harness, so we don't have to shorten this one we extended originally for the supercharger setup. He's got the sensor for the back.
This right here.
Well, I guess we need to figure out what that is.
That's for the brake booster, right?
Realistically, what we will be doing next is we will be lifting this or getting the wheels on first, taking off the jack stands, moving it forward a little bit, then putting the transmission on. So it'll be one unit and ready to go, wheels and transmission on the dolly. And then we'll figure out what this is very quickly. Tristan has that sensor, and then just the rest of the harness that needs to go onto it. Then we'll be able to roll it in there, but that's, you know, part of the process of putting it, and that's what we're working on next. We're finally making some heavy progress. If all goes well, I really want this to be running in the next like month or 2, and I don't see why we couldn't achieve that, you know?
Yeah, if we can't do it, it's gonna be small stuff, not big stuff that prevents us.
Yep.
And then like, yeah, we could go, you know, we could go and tell you every little thing we need to do. Yep. But also before we ended this, something that we didn't cover on last week's episode. No, it wasn't last week, I don't think. It's that to-do list. Here, hold this.
There you go.
All right.
So as you can see, we have a great working space.
Yeah, we checked on most of this. So, I mean, let's see. I don't even remember all of what we checked off. Let's see. Got that.
Bracket.
Got that because we actually don't need that anymore. We can just we're just using stock stuff. Bolt-on engine mounts done. Bolt motor subframe done. Turbo manifold that's already mostly done.
Yep. Fabricate system.
Yep, already done. Yep. install
delete AC
sensors.
box.
Yep, did that. Buy AC delete plate. It's funny that we put that first.
Yeah, we still need a power steering unit.
Yeah, because I think we must have accidentally thrown it away. Because we've done multiple dump runs because this place has just been a mess with spare parts. So need power steering pump. But we can put that on once that shit's in the car.
Now that you found yours, we don't need to do that. We can cross that out, actually, because we found your...
Look at that.
No, more progress, guys. Shorten. There we go. Nice.
Now, bolt-on starter. That's simple.
Do that. We can't do that until it's off the engine.
Right. Yep.
Their jack stands.
Yep. Let's see. That's next.
There's upright radiator.
Fab battery box. That's fab upright radiator. Yep. By heat exchanger. So I think.
Well, we had picked out that Volkswagen one, right? To do cheaply to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. And we're yep. That's the one we're gonna go. The one that I have for my Bonneville. It's like a 90 to 95 Jetta radiator or something like that. As a heat exchanger, works good. Gonna probably put it in the Camaro because it will all fit there now. Yeah. That bash bar.
Eventually, we'll upgrade to like a bigger, higher flowing one for it. I mean, right now we're using 3/4 inch lines, which we want to upgrade to full inch lines if at all possible. Down the road, bigger pump. Also, he's using a crappy Bosch pump that everyone uses. Down the road, we'll upgrade to a Davies Craig. And
yep, I just dug that out. My new house. Yeah, so we're basically gonna have to remake this all new. Stuff that we haven't covered on this, because there's still a lot of stuff to do. But yeah, I want to buy a new master cylinder, I think.
We should get some AN lines for the clutch pedal and everything.
Oh, yep.
Just make it easier to take on and off.
Yep, good idea. I like that. I want a new master cylinder because that one looks all rusty and nasty.
Yep.
Who knows how long it will last. But yeah, so I just want to show you guys that we have all this progress made that we just checked off a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I wish we were like looking at this and writing it off, and we're like, we should probably record this, and we're like, no.
But yeah, if you guys have a spare power steering pump, let me know. I could just buy one off of Rock Auto, but that's more than I'd like to spend right now. It's expensive. So if you have a spare to the Camaro or L36 in general, I don't think they actually matter. Let me know.
Yep. But look at this thing. This thing's ready to go in. Like, we just need to put the wheels and tires on, transmission, and roll it under there. Pick a date and, just get it in there. Because we've done that with 2 people or 3 people in one day. 3 people have done it in like one day. Yep.
Yeah, and I think we definitely could do that. It was just, it'll take those 3 people and just a lot of effort.
We just want to kind of give you an update of where we're at. We haven't, posted in a while, as you guys have known. So, just kind of want to give you a little update on everything, get some more work done on it, and now we are ready to focus on putting the engine in the Camaro. It's finally happening.
It's finally happening!
It's all ready to go. The bottom end, we dug through it, we cleaned everything, we put new bearings, I think, in it. We just refreshed everything because it had been sitting for a while. New Lucas Oil Assembly lube. It's got multi-layer metal head gaskets, new ones. We just went through, did everything, cleaned every gasket surface. We prepped everything as best we can so it doesn't leak anywhere. These things leak a lot, if you know what these cars do, so we haven't
successfully built an engine without it leaking.
Yeah, so hopefully this is the one. Who knows?
I hope so too. And I don't know how, but we'll have to retorque the heads once we heat cycle the motor. Don't know how that's going to be possible.
Yeah, we also put PTFE tape on the studs because the studs go into water jackets, and that's actually a concern with the ARP stuff. But yeah, this thing's going to be awesome. Like, imagine once it's running with the big turbo, the big cam, the valve train it has.
I love the spaghetti turbo kit.
Yep, the spaghetti turbo kit. Look at that thing.
It just looks so fucking crazy.
Oh god, there you go.
It's spaghetti.
But it'll be good.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. That'll do it on this week's episode of Jury Rig.
Yeah, we're definitely wanting to get back on a more frequent schedule. So be sure to leave us a comment down below. Tell us how if you have any recommendations on it. Leave a like. And,
and if you want to buy a built 4T65E HD for a Grand Prix or any kind of W body car. It's built. It's got a stage 2
everything
rebuild kit in it. It's got input shaft, got gear ratio conversion, stronger chain, shift kit, everything. So if you want that, email us at
on screen.
on screen. Email us there. And $16.95.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.